Okay, it's a Monday. Kunti Hini in the background. And so you know the score. Okay, so say after me. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Those of you on Facebook, you can tune into Facebook Live and watch and listen to the show live. Thanks to Abeku on the ones and twos. Well, hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's very thought-provoking hour. And today I am going to provoke our thoughts, all of us, folks, from the president right down to my own little daughter, Nyami Enunyam. I am going to poke our conscience. Indeed, I'm going to poke the conscience of Abeku, my son, here too. Folks, my topic is what we have cannot be called corruption. Well, my name is Nana Sakwa, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. Let me say welcome to this hot, frank, brutal edition of That's My Opinion. It's Monday, and so it's our thinking hour. Evans and MFA have just signed out. Then I come in, and I am saying that what we have can be corruption. And the topic alone will send your thoughts and tenors pointing upwards. Corruption, a word we bundle all the time, we bundle around. In fact, we have abused it on all fronts. On Wednesday mornings, if you have tuned in to join 99.7 FM here, Daniel, Dazi, and friend DD and F, as I put it, DD and F have a show called Corruption Watch. So we have even created an industry out of it. But it's been a while since I told you a story. Folks, once upon a time, there was this warehouse, huge warehouse belonging to a group of people, shareholders, if you may call them. And it was huge. They stocked pretty much everything. And as usual, such a facility will come with strong security, good checks and bureaucracies and good stock take. The one strange culture adopted by this warehouse and its fraternity. Anytime someone saw something untoward and reported it to those who were supposed to check the security, they would ask the quantum of the goods that were stolen. And if you come up and say, oh, well, it's about 500 Ghana cedis, the security will just laugh at you. 500 cedis, please, give us a break. I mean, they're not even going to give you the time or the space to waste their time. If there's a case, you have evidence. And look, it's about 3,000 cedis lost to the warehouse and the shareholders. 3,000 Ghana cedis, please come back another day. We don't have time. And so on a daily basis, there are thousands, if not millions, that get lost. But because it's in small quantums, they can be bothered. Unless, one brave person gets in there and sneaks out millions of goods, then the attention will be drawn. The security will spring into action, probing, investigation. Where are the millions of goods that are supposed to be in the warehouse? And funny enough, the shareholders too, not many of them are that concerned about the petty pilfering. And as I speak to you today, folks, with the benefit of information and globalization, that's how the warehouse operates. The danger, folks, is that the new recruits who come on know no better. They join the company and it's business as usual. Little pilfering can go away. If it's big, we'll come back and investigate. By all means, you are wondering what's wrong with the security people. Well, I tell you, if I and Nana Sakwa were not among the security people, I would have used very, very strong language. But unfortunately, I am sort of implicated, part of this security, so I'll watch my language. But we shall come back to this bizarre story and find out why it is that I am implicated. Folks, for the benefit of my young listeners like Malik Inadenta, young listeners like my own son Abeku Sankofi, Kofi Asante of United Press for Development, Douglas Ndansuman, Stephen Iman Kasim, and a host of other vibrant, switched-on young ones, Nelson and Co. And also to the young ones who have not had the opportunity to live and work outside of what is so-called first world or advanced countries. And finally, to the young change makers who even wish that we return to military rule out of despair and frustration for the indiscipline that they see around. Where you see no hope and yet the system today tells you that there's danger looming. Guys, our fight against corruption, which we have made into political sloganeering and literally our tooth or chewing stick that we use every morning. Sometimes we even hear that, oh, look at him, he looks corrupt. Oh yes, we make comments like, oh, look at him, he looks corrupt. Oh, that man, he may be corrupt. And at the moment, if you are a politician, it is deemed or perceived that you are corrupt without evidence. But folks, amidst all these wrong accusations are the wrongdoers, or are many wrongdoers. Probably as equal to the number of wrong accusations are there that much wrongdoers too. If you have lived in the UK, folks, if you've lived in Canada, America, if you've lived in Australia, Singapore, if you hear the amounts or events that bring politicians down, you will marvel. That's why I said what we have here can't be corruption, folks, because what we are bordering on treason. Folks, what we are doing here is treasonable. And to the young ones, hear me out on this show that what we are doing, it's definitely not normal. Folks, in 2014, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, now there was a blizzard, snowfall, heavy snowfall, and the plow somehow did not come out to work as expected. And the mayor was trying to calm the city, explaining that the New York City, had 6,000 miles of streets. And, the plows couldn't be everywhere at, every time, all the time. And therefore, take your time, blah, blah. But it turns out that, that was the anger, that apparently the mayor's area where he used to live got salted before the snow. Now, just before the snow, they will normally come out and put salt on the road. It helps the snow to melt quicker. And so, basically your roads are safer. Folks, this was a big issue. It was a big issue because the same mayor had been vocal when Bloomberg was the mayor of New York and there was a similar snowstorm and the plows didn't come out, and he was very vocal. But this time, he was there. And the same issue arose. Big deal. Folks, but in the UK, right, now there's a politician called Neil Hamilton. Now, he was an MP for an area called Tutton. He was the chief whip for the Thatcher government, and then under John Major, he was a corporate affairs minister. Now, I'm sure we've all heard about the famous or good old Harrods. Now, the owner of Harrods is Mohammed Al Fayed. He also owns the Hilton Hotel in Paris. Now, Neil Hamilton and his wife, Christine, accepted to stay at the Hilton in Paris for free. It is alleged that he took £10,000 in a brown envelope. Even though Mohammed Al Fayed said it was more than £10,000, and that was probably up to £100,000 in vouchers, gift vouchers. Neil denied the voucher business, but agreed that he stayed at the hotel for free with his wife. This was so that when he gets to Parliament, he can ask questions on behalf of Al Fayed. It's called cash for questions. This sent him crumbling down. The disgraced MP, the sleaze MP, unheard of behavior. This was big news, literally ended his career. He was in court for years trying to redeem his name. It's only recently that he joined the UKIP and he's picking himself back up again. £10,000, folks, and a free weekend in a hotel. That was the end of him. Folks, just recently, Ian Paisley, MP for North Antrim, has been suspended for accepting free holidays from the government of Sri Lanka. The Parliament committee thought it was so serious that they gave him one of the severest punishment that only 3 MPs have ever gotten it. That he be suspended for 30 sittings. He's the 3rd MP to receive such punishment. And they've asked him to come and log any gift he may have received from the Sri Lankan people. And his problem now is, how does he even go back and start campaigning, to retain his seat? Big deal. So, folks, when they say corruption, that's what they mean. Someone bought a watch and paid a hotel bill, or, paid for your hotel. Folks, the Minister of Transport travels in a Toyota Avensis instead of the public train. I remember, reading the whole story here for you. The Minister of Transport. There's a Toyota Avensis that belongs to the ministry. And then the driver will drop him home. His excuse was that he has some security documents that he wants to read. Folks, they were asking for his resignation for the Minister of Transport not riding on the public train. You provide a public train and drive in a Toyota Avensis. Now, this is why I say that I was implicated in the story. But let me go back to the Avensis story. I mean, can you imagine Minister of Transport turns up at the ministry and the procurement manager or whoever it is says, there's your Toyota Avensis, Mr. Minister. I mean, you be transferred to WA, folks. You go to WA to go do procurement. But, this is why I say I'm implicated in our story. For those of you who listened from the beginning, I was talking about the lax security who don't guard gates well. And I am saying I'm also guilty. Why? Because I'm in the media. Folks, imagine someone called and said, Nana, I have a scoop. Oh, Nana, I have hot scoop for you. Yeah, tell me about it. Well, a politician went and stayed at Century Royal with his wife, and he did not pay. Oh, we suspect that the Odene the Akwamuhini paid for them because he's trying to lobby some roads in the area. My response would be, and, what's the catch? And so they stayed there for free. So? Or somebody calls and says, hey, Nana, you won't believe this. I have evidence, I have scoop. See, share it with me. Well, the minister accepted an expensive watch, 10,000, as a gift. I'll still be waiting for the punchline. The minister got a watch and 10,000. What's the punchline? I mean, where is it? Folks, that is what we have created. Unless the amount runs into millions of dollars, then it's not worth our time. Just like the warehouse I was talking about, little pilfering do not register until large amounts are stolen. And so guess what? We have a system where the conviction rate is so low, near impossible. The chances of you going free is so high. Folks, it's so high that in fact and in truth, it has become, actually foolish not to engage in corruption. Your family is expecting from you, your church is expecting from you, your area, your society, your chief is expecting from you, your friends, your clubhouse, everybody wants to see your new life reflect your newfound wealth. And we, the media, we are only interested in huge amounts. We are interested in millions of dollars, 200 million, 70 million. I mean, some of the figures they mention, guys, I'm telling you, it's not normal. That's why I'm saying that, ours cannot be corruption. I mean, ours is treason. I mean, we're talking huge budgets. We don't deal in watches or hotel bills. We are talking 5 million liters of contaminated fuel as what watch. We are talking double, triplicate, middlemen. Overpriced, 150 million. That's so, and they will still give you an explanation why, yes, we have to pay this amount. Watch. Which media house, folks, will give you airtime for such nonsense? Nobody. But folks, is that not why we are here? We collectively have raised the bar so high, neglecting the little ones until they become masters of the game. And remember, we said here on the show, these guys have no guilt, neither have they no shame. So they will take the money, opa menka, nothing. So if the youth coming up, Kofi Asante, United Press for Development, if you fall into this madness that we have created, thinking that corruption is only when millions are involved, then folks, let us just sell up the country. After all, most part of it is sold anyway. So let's sell the rest and be done with it. Our laws also reflect the same thing. Still 5 yams, 5 years. Still 5 million, a committee will be set up. Your party folks will come to your defense. And if you can hold on for 2 weeks, a new story will come. You're off the hook. But folks, You have also played the part. Folk, you have also played the part in raising the bar. Imagine I were to come here and do a show. Turn up, say, hey, that's my opinion. Guess what? A minister got a watch and I want him removed. People will see something, hey, Nana, and you'll be driving in the car thinking, is he okay? You want the minister removed because he accepted a free lodge at the hotel? You will not take me serious. So collectively, we have all raised this bar so high. And we are all underneath it, pretending to be fighting corruption. We are all underneath it, pretending that we are fighting corruption. Somebody takes 1,000 cedis, that's not corruption. The CEO of a big company takes 10,000, 5,000. Folks, you won't even register. So like I said, today I wanted to put this corruption issue on the table and poke our minds and our conscience, and also warn the young and up-and-coming ones that what we call corruption is treason. Do not look at it, classify as corruption. That's treasonable. Those are monies that build communities. Those are monies that build schools. They are monies that build hospitals. That's treasonable. That's committing murder. Corruption is watch, be at watch, sleep in the hotel. That's corruption. But what we are doing, folks, I don't think we can say it's corruption. We are even disgracing corruption, folks. We are disgracing corruption. If corruption was a human being, he'd be very upset with us. Hey, Adeng, please, this can't be me. What you are doing, find a different name for it. This cannot be me. And so to the old ones, you and I, who think that, the small ones don't deserve our airtime or our energy or our front pages, to us, then to the young ones, please do not follow our madness. But you know what? This is my opinion. By all means, you have yours too. And so it's a 0302216541. 0302216541. And then on WhatsApp, the messages are coming in already. It's 0244-340-437. We are all guilty, beginning from me. Let me see who my first caller is. Hello.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Who am I talking to?
Nana, you are talking to a guy from the University of Ghana, Legon Hall to be precise.
Najari, let me hear you.
Yes, and I think today you have been very real. This morning, I was trying to get Captain Samata on his program when he was doing the Faber Wasso on Adum FM. Mm-hmm. A lot of Ghanaians were calling, congratulating him and complimenting him, Yamibe Shroud and all that. And I wanted to tell him that those who are calling him, congratulating him, they themselves are the people who are compelling and impelling our politicians to be corrupt. Now, if you have realized this, whenever you go to any of these politicians, their houses or even their offices, even the DCs or the MCs, sometimes I wonder whether the place is a consultation room or what. So the one thing that I ask myself is that, do they even have the peace of mind to sign contracts or to, peruse through this contract, the various contractual agreements before they sign. Because this person, as soon as the person leaves, the other enters. And it's very, very difficult for you as the chief executive to even have time to go through certain things. So, Nana, it is very true that we as a people, we are just the epitome of the word corruption. We ourselves, our life, typify the word corruption. Everything about us is corruption. If an MP or a DCE comes in without, building a house or getting a good mansion, we the fancies, they will ask you that is Ghana for you, or you are the only Ghanaian in on this earth. So, Nana, I think that's the right thing.
Thank you very much, my brother. Frederick is in Kaswa. Hello, Frederick.
Oh, good evening, Nana.
Good evening, Frederick.
How are you and the whole family?
Charlie, they're very good.
Charlie, well done this evening. It is sad. In our country, we seem to criminalize poverty. In the situation where a poor woman or man that steals a few tubers of yam or cassava is sentenced so many months or years in jail. These big people in society get away with all these kinds of heavy crimes. It's really unfortunate. Now, let me just relate something that happened in my workplace the other day. A little girl in KG2, she's fond of stealing. So on this particular day, the matron in the canteen found some money on her 5 cedis, asked her who it is for. She said it is for her. She got it from home. And the elder brother was asked, so the money was given to the teacher. And since she said the money was given to her from home, it was given to her to take home. Now the daddy did well, finding out that the girl had the money that he didn't give her, called to find out the truth in the whole thing. And when he called me, I made him understand that I didn't even know. So I called the people involved and they said, they found it on him, and then on her, they tried to question her. She said she got it from home. So the daddy was calling to confirm if someone gave it to her or because he did not give her that sum of money. So I thought it was a very good thing that a parent will call to verify his daughter's action. Very important,
very important. Ifu is in Koforidua. Hello, Ifu.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
I'm Salifu.
Oh, Salifu, sorry.
Yes. It is true that we always oversay the corruption, but I think we have not been able to actually use the correct name. Then I look at our ministers and our government appointees. They stay at a particular place before they became MPs and then became ministers. But the moment they elect them, they want to move to the bungalows. Why can't you be at your former place and move to your workplace so that the people there, the youth there, you can use them as inspiring symbol? Yes, if I was in Sukura before I became MP for Ablekuma Central and the president sees my good work and nominates me for Minister for Housing, let me be in Masukura so that every day I go and come. And the youth there will see me that, yes, there is somebody who stayed in Sukura and he becomes a minister. So let us also learn that and make the environment clean. Nana, look at another thing. You see the billboards of the pastors and their wives more than the church board. Huh? Nana, as you said, as for we Africans, we simplify this corruption thing.
Thank you very much. Let me go to Swedru, and Ibrahim is there. Hello, Ibrahim.
Hello, good evening, and how are you doing?
I'm very good, my brother.
And I'm nice, so thanks for doing a good job for Mother Ghana. About the corruption, Nana, we are living in a country whereby today, if somebody is nominated as a, let's say, MP or minister, one is going to the country. The whole family and the chief and everybody move along with him as if that's the. So in total, we are telling them to do something in the house. Because we are living in a country whereby somebody had a post in the government and the person did not do anything. You end up saying that, oh, because you are over Mr. Kwadana, why are you shaman call for? So is it a system? It's pushing people to just, when they have the chance to be in office, to take something, bring it in the home. What that does not belong to you. The thing belongs to the country. Another time, let me keep this thing.
No, let me go to mile 7 because the lines are busy today. The lines are busy today. Hello, who am I talking to in mile 7?
Sofo, yeah.
Oh, Fofo, talk to me.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Truly, you deserve the name, Nana. You are truly a Nana. The callers all said it all. Look, Adina, perfect. Best topic of the day. Yes, Adina, best. Someone will still go to jail for 5 years. Good. Or even plantain or cassava. And a minister or somebody will do away with about million. They make million like it's like 10 Ghana or 20 million. Hey, million. If you're going to work the whole day, do your own job. How much do you earn? And Ghana money, taxpayers' money. Think about billion and say, sorry, I didn't check it, I didn't do this, you didn't go through the document, and you signed and blah, blah, blah. Nana, God bless you. I'll keep listening to you until Jesus comes. Have a blessed day.
God bless you too. Ajimai is in Tema. Hello, Ajimai.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Nana, I agree with you that it is reasonable what is going on, because if a minister will award a contract, let's say a road contract, and the amount he will get into his own pocket can even go through secondary schools, and yet we are having schools under trees. It's not reasonable offense. They want us to vote for them. They say they are coming to serve us, but we are voting for them to bully us. There's a pressure on the line, so I don't want to take much of your time.
And I appreciate that, my brother. I really appreciate that. 0302216541. Hold on. And it's Edwin, right? Oh, Godwin, brother. Hello, Godwin.
Yes, hello?
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, Nana, just as everybody said, you've said it all. But what exactly is the problem there? That is what we need to be asking ourselves.
Funny enough, I should have tried to research why it is that we've raised the bar so high. I don't know.
You see, this is it, Nana. We are practicing a governance system that says the very people we entrust the nation's resources to, and our money too, they should be the same people to approve to themselves, investigate themselves, report to themselves, and prosecute themselves when they step out of line. So what do we expect? This is it. We are practicing a system that says the same people we entrust our resources to, our hard-working capital in form of taxes, should be the same people to approve to themselves, report to themselves, investigate themselves, and prosecute themselves. Sometimes when the executive comes and they say they are coming to fight corruption, I laugh. Because fighting corruption, when you peruse the Constitution, is not the work of the executive. It's the work of Parliament. But it is because the Parliament has been tainted with, the same executive have taken control of Parliament. Okay?
Thank you very much.
When executives come and they tell you, I'm going to fight corruption, I always say it's much more like we drafting a well-planned prostitution law and give it to a pimp to execute it.
Thank you very much, my brother. This one says, I work in a bank, and I happened to know the favorite chocolate snack of my senior operations manager, and I got it for her in appreciation of a nice gesture from her, not to bribe her before the gesture. The value was less than $5. Guess what? I got an email from her with a disclaimer that she doesn't affect gifts, but for that one time she would accept it so that I don't feel bad. This is how professional some people can be in disassociating themselves with corruption. It's a joke in Ghana. Thank you. Keep up the good job. This is Rich K in Minnesota. Hello, who's on the line?
Oh, hello, Nana. Good evening.
Greg, talk to me.
Yes, Greg. You know, I've talked to you once on your show, and I asked a question. I'm going to ask it again. But first of all, I must say that, like, I'm sure
listen to your show. I would wish that someone like you would become president of Ghana. Now, the question I asked you the last time I talked to you on the show was, are you sure if you became a politician, you will still stick to these views, to these principles?
And I said no, because the system will consume me unless I'll be able to change the system. But based on this current system, you
can. Oh yes. You know, people have complained recently about Kojo Oppong Nkrumah.
Oh, why is it that is it just because
he was doing when he was on Joy?
Why is it that every time I'm doing a show, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah's name comes up? Is he the only minister or politician in Ghana?
Yeah,
and I think he's doing, his best considering the system that we are working with. I think Kojo is doing really, really well. Cut the guy some slack, man. Nee is in a salam down. Hello, Nee.
Hi.
Yes, boss.
Yes, boss. Okay, all right. So about Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, let me just chip in. To me, he's one of the best. He's been given the opportunity and he's delivering. Okay, now to Ghana. We have allowed ourselves to get to this point. A typical example is what we see with this CONEST issue. There's a curfew on campus. Why is there a curfew on campus? When there are people who have paid fees to be on campus. And when there are footages that we can identify people. Now, the people, the so-called women are going to sit down to think of the right thing to do when they know what the right thing is.
Oops, I think your line dropped. Sorry about that. Nana, good evening. None of the Ghanaian politicians are ready to fight corruption. They all come into power to better their lives, including friends and family. Remember, Al Fayad was trying to justify Tony Ronan's loss of Harrods to him. Please, do we have a mayor in Accra? The city is too dirty. Accra Mall environs looks like Tema. Nana. This is Nana in Spintex Road. Good evening, Nana. I always like your messages, Nana. You seem like a London person. A very London person. 0302216541. Let me catch up with some of your messages on WhatsApp. This one says, Nana, to paraphrase your message at the start of the show, the lion and the hunter. I think until the poor have a fair judicial system, the law would always glorify the people peddling corruption. The person who steals yam is in prison. How comes Wyoming has yet to see any prison gate? Victor Brown, West London. Oh, that's my own brother, Victor Brown. Finest gentleman you've ever met. So, folks, and particularly the young ones, believe you me, take it from me that the things that we report in the news, the quantums, the sums we are talking about, it is not normal. And it's not normal in countries that are pulling $1 trillion GDPs. $1 trillion GDPs. It is not normal in their circles. So Papansa will talk to me. Hello, Papansa.
Great King.
My namesake.
Good evening.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, may you live long. Great King. One man asked you a question, whether can you be a president or politician?
Yeah.
And you were like, no. The system, when you get there, the system can change you.
Yeah.
You see, it's simple and short. The thing is, it's our mindset. Right from the university, look at what happened at the Karen University campus today. Some of them will join. I think some of them are even doing political science. they will become president. And these things, I know before President Nanado came to power, he made mention, I'll fight corruption. Tell me one single corruption act the previous government or his government, one person that he has, brought to book. Great thing. I think chiefs have to come in and rule this country.
Thank you very much. Douglas in Dansoman. I mentioned his name a couple of times, so he's out of the woods. And now, long life for the work you're doing. The bit about UK and USA, Germany, etc. When you get involved in corruption and you're caught, you are finished. Trust me. But in Ghana, corruption is water for us. We drink it every day. We follow bad doers because the party members. You see MPs or any public servant doing the wrong thing, and you question, they will ask you, is it your father? And talking about that, this normalization or correcting committee thing for these sports thing, right? And one of them turned up late, and they were asked to applaud, and the guy asking the question says, "Oh no, why should we applaud you? You turned up late." And he got so angry, and used very foul language. Guess what? They took the mic away from him. He was silenced. He was silenced. The guy who, out of the whole people in the room, 60, 80 people in the room, who stood up to say, "Look, Mr. Man, you've come in late and you have to be apologize to us, not us applauding you." He gets angry, and guess what? The guy who stood up to ask that question was silenced. They took the mic from him. Oh, Tnasi Jaya, Tnasi. And so this is where we are. Unless it's millions, we don't talk about it. Armstrong is on the phone. Talk to me, my brother.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you are doing well in the family.
Charlie, we are breathing and we are doing good.
We thank God. We thank God. Nana, I just wanted to thank you for your topic this evening. You couldn't have said it any better. We have risen the bar too high that ourselves, we just turn back to ourselves and then we think what's going on. Then let us rather look high. And we raise very high, we can't even touch it. And we all go back to bed, living the country in as it is. So I thank you, and I want to appreciate you for the topic you chose this evening. And maybe if we all take this path, one day we'll have a better Ghana. Thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and even thank you so much for calling. But Gideon is in line. Hello, Gideon.
Yeah, Nana.
Let me hear you. Lower your radio set and let me hear you.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Please, with regard to this corruption issue that we are talking about, Nana, one thing baffles me in this country. Anytime public officers misuse money, we will call for a public inquiry, and then they will also go and sit, and then they will do all they can do, and then at the end of the day, we come out with nothing. So we end up putting more corruption on the corruption issue that we claim we have found. I mean, if you look at the recent current GVG issue that we have the tussle about back and forth on Saturday, and then the president has launched it. We are in this country, and civil society, like Imani and others, have raised questions about this thing. That there are a lot of components in this thing that ought to be looked at again. But in spite of all the noises they have made, our president has went on and then have launched this thing today. So imagine if tomorrow we came back and then we say there's corruption in this deal, and it was investigated and it is true that there's corruption in this thing. What should we do to the ministers and the president?
Well, if they can last 2 weeks, they will survive it. It's been, our forefathers have survived it. It will no matter the amount. It could be 100 million, it could be 200 million, 5 million liters of contamination. I mean, no matter what it is, all you need is 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, something else will come. But in Medina, it's Kwajo. Hello, Kwajo, talk to me.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, I would want to say
thank you for addressing the issue just the way you just did it. I am so happy with the way you have addressed this corruption issue. And I want to say thank you. I just pray that some remnants will be kept antiseptic in all of this, so that at least Ghana will have some hope. Because at the moment it's very, very, very sad. Very, very sad. I remember I used to work with some financial institution, and then we ran some new software on our system, and then we randomly debited the account of some customers. So the natural thing to do is that, okay, let's just go and reverse all those things. You won't believe that some managers actually objected to this. This is how serious our situation is. We see everything to be normal. And yes,
it's dangerous. See, but folks, see, the danger is, I mean, look at me. I'm quite vocal. I'm sure everybody, and so if me, I won't come here and talk or complain about a minister who received a watch, or minister who's, maybe somebody bought a first class ticket for him, or to, we thought, $5,000 initially, it's not worth our hour. I won't do it. The next person won't do it. Probably the morning show would even think, Charlie, it's not on the radar. And just say, we have a radar where you have to catch. Folks, we have a radar where you have to catch. You listening, you the viewers, listening, think, look, Charlie, watch it here, you are wasting my airtime. I'll probably switch to the next station. I'm also thinking, watch it here, it's not even worth me coming to do a show on it. So, folks, let's come back to the table and think about this thing again. It's dangerous. Douglas is in Dansoman. Oh, the line dropped. Nana, God richly bless you. In the banking sector now, most of the big men within the banks open their own agencies. And if you want to work through the bank, you have to go through the agency to get a job. And when you're paid like 1,000, you would have to divide it, and half will go into them. This is it. Selfish and wicked people. May God have mercy on them all. We are really suffering in this country. And this is Dede. Hello, who's talking to me on the line?
Your Majesty is Dramani.
Dramani, talk to me.
Now, a question was asked of you by one gentleman, whether you one day become a politician or would be interested in ruling this country as a president. May I take this opportunity again to hear your answer to that question, please?
No, the answer to your question is no, but the answer to his question was that
to his question, exactly.
Yeah,
your answer,
he said if I became president, could I make any changes in this country?
Okay.
And I said no, because for me to be president today, I'll probably need about $20-30 million, which I don't have. Abeku will give me some, you will give me some. I'll go and take some from all these people. I will campaign, go the length and breadth. So when I come and my brother, you come and tell me that my wife has a problem.
Your very response is an antidote to the problems confronting us as a country. Honesty is what is lacking in the system. People are not honest about whatever they have to steer the affairs of this country. They aren't. Every time Dick and Harry want to rule this country, they don't have. You remember the very first time you said that your uncle was looking for somebody to become a chief to occupy the seat you occupy today.
Yeah.
You remember the answer you said you gave to your uncle?
Yep.
You said that whether there was water at that place.
Yeah.
But the other people that your uncle asked, they said that whether the place was contained, the place had gold.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, it takes great minds to ask such questions. One other gentleman talked about this Kenny GVG thing. Let me just tell that person that, like you said, that if the president and the minister will survive for just about 2 weeks when an investigation is conducted into that thing, should the NDC come back to power, nothing will happen to them. Let me remind you of Ghana Telecom, now Vodafone. The NDC in opposition promised us that they will revoke that agreement should they have the mandate of Ghanaians. We gave them the mandate. We were involved in all the activities that brought them to power. The minister responsible for communication was invited to Buckingham Palace. He went to have a tea with the Queen, and then he came back and told us that the revocation would not be possible. Thank you.
I just love that contribution. But in the meantime, in between time, I want to say a big thank you to the people of Manya Krobo. Well, they had a festival today. And hold on, I have help here. The Mayem Festival. So I want to say a big thank you to Nene Sakite. Well, the beauty about, and let me say thank you to Nana Afra Kuma II. Nana Afra Kuma II. Now, why am I saying that? Well, Ohineri got invited as a guest of honor to this festival. And then when she got there, she was actually, honored as the Yokama. She was made to sit in the lap of the Queen Mother, on the pomp and pageantry, and she was very pleased. And in fact, I was very touched. So to all the Krobo people in the Manye Festival, to Nene Sakite, to Nana Afra Kuma, I say well done, well done, well done. I have been very unfair to Kwabna.
Hello, Nana. I'm okay. I'm okay. I just called you.
Very good, Kwabna. Let me hear.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Yeah.
Kwabna, you have 30 seconds.
I was listening to you when a caller said, "Hey, Nana, you should run for president sometime." And you said, and he asked you if when your status changes, whether it would change you would allow the system to change you. And you said yes. I disagree with you. Nana, if you really want to make an impact, want to make a change, you can do it. And all I can say is leadership, being the president is the pinnacle of leadership. That means it's a communication,
Thank you very much. On too soon, that's what time allows. But I think one day we need to come and do a show as to will you be a good president? I think that we are like, will you be a good president? But Ernest Menu's here. Thank you very much for tuning in to That's My Opinion. Until Monday that I come to you with a different topic. Probably would you be a good president? We'll talk about that. Stay tuned and listen to the news bulletin, and then Overdrive with Sammy Forcing is right up next after the news bulletin.
o'clock.
From the Joy Newsroom, we have the latest news headlines with me, Ernest Minu. Students of the KNUST are currently observing a dusk to dawn curfew imposed on them by the Ashanti Regional Security Council.